Michaela Vernava alongside Darren Hartwell in the NESN studios as Red Sox spring training is about to get underway. So Darren, let's talk some pitching because of course the Red Sox big pickup this offseason, Chris Sale, he does seem to be the clear-cut ace in this rotation. So do you think he'll live up to the expectations set forth for him?
I think there's a good chance, and it's pretty wild that he's the ace in the staff that has David Price and Rick Porcello, a guy who just won the American League Cy Young. But he is the bona fide ace. There's a reason why they went out and got this guy. He's had 200 strikeouts over the last 4 seasons. He's a shutdown guy, a guy you go to in the big games. I think there's a little bit of transition period pitching in Fenway Park, pitching with the Red Sox, as we saw with Price last year. He struggled a little bit. But, this is a guy who's really been nails throughout his entire career, so I think he's going to live up to the hype.
Well, you mentioned Price, and he's a guy that didn't quite live up to the lofty expectations that everyone had for him last year. So how do expectations change for him now heading into this new season?
I think they might be tempered a little bit after what he went through last season, but this is a guy who puts a lot of pressure on himself, and he's a pretty self-deprecating guy. So I think he'll still set the expectations high. I think in that second season, as we saw with Porcello, second season in Boston, he really thrived. So I think there's reason to believe that he's going to step up his game this season. And once we get to the postseason, if we get that far, that's a different story. But I think in the regular season, at least, he's going to be doing big things.
Well, what about the back end of the rotation now? Who will fill those final spots?
That's going to be a tricky question. You have Stephen Wright, Eduardo Rodriguez, and Drew Pomeranz all fighting for those last 2 spots. I think it's going to be partly a question of injuries. All 3 guys have their own injury problems they're dealing with. I think right now, as it stands, Pomeranz might be the odd guy out, and you have Rodriguez, just 23 years old, with a lot of upside, and Wright, who was an all-star last year, still can kind of deliver, eat up innings for you as a knuckleballer. But yeah, we'll see. Spring training will be a good proving ground for that.
All right, well, lots to keep an eye on. And Darren, of course, we'll be tracking everything, so everyone make sure to keep it on NESN.com for all your Red Sox news.